The small margins, all add up together.
Just those little 1% that make a difference to your performance, and that's the kind of things that it can come down to.
I am James Tavernier. I am the captain of Rangers Football Club.
I'm Kathryn Hill. I am a centre-back for Rangers.
I think as time has gone on, there's obviously more awareness in general health, but especially in elite athletes. The kind of fine margins and these sort of marginal gains that are spoken about, and trying to produce ultimately the best performance that they can.
We collect a large amount of data now from the players, whether that be from the data we get from training and match outputs, whether that's data from some gym-based tests, and amongst other things as well. And all that does is it allows us to create a nice picture of each individual.
The stat guys have everything at the disposal: meters, high velocity sprints. The equipment's like we've got a cryo chamber here at the training ground to help recovery. Yeah, the technologies have really improved, and I'm only imagine it's going to get even better.
I think the biggest thing for us is probably the GPS that we use for training. It's something that we never had even a kind of few years ago. We kind of base our full training week around those GPS monitors. They tell you your total distance, your high speed running, your top speeds, and I think based on how the game was on a Sunday, for example, and the distance you covered can then tailor your Tuesday session. So if you've not ran a distance that you're used to running, then your Tuesday can be a little bit heavier.
How many metres you run to the high intensity runs will all dictate what you need for the next build up to the next game. And if you can tick all the boxes of all these small percentages, you're hoping that you're better than, more efficient than your opponent.
Yes, obviously wearable technology now is everywhere in everyday life as well, so a lot of the players are using systems or devices that help track sleep and other forms of information and lifestyle things that we can access and look at.
More female teams we can get who are consistently getting data will only help. I think we're at the point now where we're starting to catch up. You can be given all the information in the world, but if you're not using it to the best of your ability, then it's not going to make a difference.
They're more aware of the information that we're collecting, they're asking more questions, they want to know more about the things that we're seeing.
Some players will very much look at things personally, obviously with their own kind of apps, watches, and then this is obviously backed up with the data and information that we would have at the club. We'll try to do at least annual, but often twice annually, blood screening. The cardiac sort of heart screening is done as well with the first teams on an annual basis. In terms of the men's first team, cholesterol levels, iron, folic acid, that we might look at discussing a little bit further in terms of diet or things that may need to be replaced. With the women's players, we add in other factors like menstruation, which can obviously have an effect on iron levels, blood loss.
We weren't doing wellbeing questionnaires every single morning on how we slept or if we're on a menstrual cycle, so hopefully that can affect your performance a little bit if you are on your cycle or you're not. Is there something that you can change just to make you feel more confident going out on the pitch?
We're also lucky here in terms of our psychology support. If there's any issues that are flagged up, in the academy we have a guideline, so any long-term injuries, greater than 4 to 6 weeks, we will automatically have a mental health check-in.
Even if you look at male players from years ago to now, I think you don't see as much in the press and so on about lifestyles. It's more like doing the right things, and yeah, I think that's important for the game, and it gives younger players role models as well. I think nutrition's a big thing, that's something that's been more introduced to us over the last couple of seasons.
The way football's taken itself, you can last longer if you take care of your body, so yeah, the nutrition side's really important, and that comes down to the fitness coaches.
On a Tuesday, if we're just recovering, you probably don't need as much carbohydrates if you're not running about as much.
In Scotland, we don't get huge amounts of sunlight during the winter. We will look at vitamin D levels, both in the summer when people are just back from their summer holidays, but also into January or early February after the winter break.
I really keep track of my sleep and the recovery.
And there is so much in terms of the holistic approach and a lot more development that we are seeing in terms of general day-to-day wellness.
It's definitely improving, and it's just exciting to see everything just keeps improving and getting better, and the more information you get, the finer things you can kind of tweak and make slightly better.
You look at football maybe 20, 30 years ago, and the careers what players had compared to what the players are having now, where the longevity in the game of players, where they're taking really good care of the body. If you invest in yourself, and I believe it will pay off.
Trying to live the healthiest, longest life possible. I think if you're putting all the right things in your body, food-wise, and treating your body the right way, I think having a good mindset should hopefully mean that you live a longer and happier life, and I think that's the main thing. You just want to make the most of the time you have here, so I think why not do it properly when you can.